you can potentially increase revenue with technology. So one of the ways you might be able to do that is adding an additional service, something that they weren't doing before that they can do in a cost-effective manner.
Welcome to People at Pyramid, a weekly podcast that introduces you to your fellow Pyramid Club members. My name is Vince Quinn, the Content Studio Director, and I'm here to showcase the stories of your fellow members, explore the ways that they can help you and your network, and make it easy for you to connect. With that, let's meet our next member.
Hey members, my name is Shane Couturier. I have been a member of the Pyramid Club for 5 months, and I am co-chair of the Technology Roundtable.
And we will talk about the Technology Roundtable because I was there for the first meeting. As we record this, another meeting coming up. So we will talk in detail about the Technology Roundtable. I love it. Yeah, so you, Nikki Kuhn, I'm very excited for it. But first, let's talk technology, shall we? You work in technology, you know the space in and out. Like, what interests you in technology today?
Well, that's a pretty big question. Yeah. So, I work in the mobile connectivity space. So, I'm always dealing with companies that are relying on connectivity, whether you're, out on the road, we all have a phone on us at all times. So we're always connected to the internet. There's so much involved between cybersecurity, businesses that have a fleet and they got vehicles traveling around. It's really a much bigger question, and sometimes they're related. We'll talk about AI and the toasters taking over the planet. Well, it's an interesting thing because now in today's environment, cybersecurity can mean endpoints. Well, what's an endpoint? A toaster nowadays. Like in your home, you might have a refrigerator, right? And it has a TV screen on it that shows you, oh, my milk's running low. I don't have to worry about opening that up. I can just reach in and see that the milk is low because the camera is projecting that. That's connected to your Wi-Fi. That's an endpoint. Somebody can get into your network through your refrigerator or toaster.
God.
Right. So a lot of these things people don't even think about. So these are the things that keep me up at night.
Yeah, I mean, reasonably so. Like, all this cybersecurity stuff is crazy. You hear all these different ways of, obviously, there's like phishing scams and stuff and all the different, so you get these weird links and they get into your system and they start stealing your stuff or whatever. Like, I got hacked recently. Somebody was trying to set up, they somehow got into my Best Buy account which I have not even accessed in like 4 years. So I don't use it. I don't care about it. I don't know how they got into it. They somehow got my information, went to a store, made a fake ID claiming they were me, and applied for a credit card at Best Buy. And I'm like, oh my God, So like, now luckily I had all these, like, I basically had frozen my credit.
Right.
So you put that alert on to have that not happen. So it didn't end up going through. But then 2 weeks later, they tried to get into my Amazon account. And I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Because it was the same location. It was the same guy. They were trying to get me from a different angle. So it's just like the ways that people go after you, and the fact that anybody on the planet from anywhere can go after you, man. Like, that stuff's terrifying. But connectivity of things. I mean, because part of it is we talked about the scary stuff for a minute there. Cool stuff, Shane.
Cool stuff, yeah.
Cool
Instead
stuff.
of scaring me, Shane.
Yeah, happy things.
So I like to say, with technology, you can basically do 3 things with it. You can sometimes decrease costs by doing something more efficiently. That's fun. We talked about the managing risks. So that was a managing risks component, is protecting yourself, right? And then you can potentially increase revenue with technology. So one of the ways you might be able to do that is adding an additional service. A lot of medical professionals are adding, say, remote patient monitoring, or things that they can do to increase their revenue for their business, something that they weren't doing before that they can do in a cost-effective manner. So increasing revenue is great. Another managing risk that's kind of fun, I like fleet. I love fleet because now we have high-speed internet that can travel on the road. You can get a front and rear-facing camera. So if I'm driving a van for my business and a car pulls out in front of me, it sees that. Now, am I liable because that car pulled out in front of me? At least I have some ammunition to protect my business. If my driver's getting tired, he's out on the road, AI technology senses that he's getting tired, sends an email or a text to his supervisor. So his supervisor can call him up and say, hey, Shane, you're getting a little tired. You might want to pull over.
My God. So how do they determine that somebody's tired with AI? Is that the watch? And how do they do that?
Yeah, no, it's basically I mean, I'm not the guy that invents this stuff, but they're using the technology to see characteristics. And this is, an AI thing where they're saying, hey, if this person's tired, we see this in so many frames, the droopiness of the face, all these things add up. And as a human being, you can tell it, but now a computer can see it real time, and a human being can only monitor so many things at once, whereas AI is able to monitor all the drivers that you have on the road.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable. Okay, so very cool stuff. And we will continue to talk about that at the Technology Roundtable. So for people who want to visit the Roundtable, because these are the kinds of things you'll be doing, when is it, Shane?
Well, it is every month. So the good news is you could come any month. So if you happen to miss that one, or you're like, oh, geez, I'm watching this thing and it just passed. Now we're halfway through the summer. Every third Thursday, there is going to be the Technology Roundtable at 1 p.m. here at the Pyramid Club.
So put it on your calendar. If you don't have it already, it's on mine because you guys have a mailing list. So I have the invite. So if you show up, you'll get on the mailing list. Reach out to Shane, get on the mailing list. Keep it on your calendar. It's the easiest way to do it. So Technology Roundtable, covering a lot of different things there. Now, question for you, because you mentioned as we were talking before that you're into barbecue. How? In what way?
Well, I just moved up from Texas
Okay.
to the Philadelphia area, and brisket is very important to me, and it's hard to find great brisket in this area. So I think in order to get great brisket, you have to make it yourself. So just a couple of quick tips.
Yes, please.
No super secrets, but one of the tricks is you have to get a decent cut of brisket and trim the fat. One of the things that I like to do that not everybody does is I take that fat that I've trimmed, I cut it into small bits, I put it on the stovetop, set it on a very low temperature, stirring it every 15 minutes or so. This creates what we call tallow, which is the most delicious fat. It's the bacon fat of cattle. You strain that beef fat through a coffee filter, and you have shelf-stable fat that you can use. Now, it doesn't last very long for me because I'll put seasoning on it. And when the brisket hits the stall point on the smoker, I'm going to put the seasoning on in the tallow and put it back on the brisket with the seasoning, and I'll wrap it for the remainder of the cook time until it's finished. So that's just one of the tricks that I would say that you could use to make the world's greatest brisket.
You make me so hungry. I was not hungry at all. I had no appetite whatsoever. And then as soon as you're like, and this is the best fat and I was like, oh my God, Shane, how could you do this to me? That sounds amazing. Okay, so I love that you do all this barbecue. So if people want barbecue tips,
they can call me then too. Yes.
Yeah, so reach out to Shane. If you want to be at the Technology Roundtable, reach out to Shane. And also, I know there's some other kinds of members that you'd love to talk. People in different fields. Who are some of the members you'd like to connect with?
We talked about fleet, and that's really important, like I said, because there are different ways that you can protect your fleet, whether it's the cameras or just tracking, monitoring the hard stops or the speedings, or even picking up the most efficient way to get from point A to point B, and helping the driver with that kind of thing with the telematics. There's also DOT certified tail lights that you can put on your vehicle, so it's more of a covert style of tracking device that you can use. So there's a lot of things that you can do in the fleet area, and I think a lot of business owners aren't necessarily thinking about all of the technology that they need in that space. And then cybersecurity is obviously a really big one, because it's very important to protect all of those endpoints, and they can be great partners with people who are providing that connectivity.
Love it. So yeah, reach out to Shane for all of that, all those spaces. Shane, very interesting conversation. I've seen you around the club a lot since you've been here. Really enjoyed the time. Just to get this little back and forth, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it as well.